everyone.
Hello.
How are you? Wow, this has been an amazing conference so far, and I've been able to have conversations with a lot of you sitting here about the whole theme of this conference, right? Which is profitability and specifically how AI can help with that, right? AI is everywhere now. And some of you may feel hesitant, and some may feel like an expert, and some may be in between. So we're just going to talk to you today about things that we've seen firsthand that have worked for the hotels that we support, because AI is not just another tool. It really is the way that hotels are generating revenue and protecting margin and leading operations. And the hotels that are leading right now are not the ones that just know what AI is. It's the ones that know how to put it to work.
All right, so you may be wondering, who are we and where do we work? Well, I'm April and this is Cheryl. We work for a company called Jacaruso Enterprises, and we have been helping hoteliers in supporting the sales effort of their hotel since 2007. That's been our core business. But over the last couple of years, we've been leaning into innovation and technology and discovering how those tools and resources can help our partners push revenue even further, faster. So today we want to talk about 5 ways that you can use AI at your property with little knowledge of AI, or even if you're very skilled, hopefully give you some insight to level up the ways that you're using AI and help your hotels be more profitable. So when we start talking about AI, innovation, technology, one of the first questions we get asked is, well, where do I start? It's a great question. There's a ton of options on the market, and they're all tailored to do something very specific. Just to be clear, today we are not talking about coding. We're not going to be talking about building agents. We're going to scale this back and make it very simple so that you're confident in using these skills to help you. All right, you've probably heard of ChatGPT, maybe Perplexity, or even Copilot. Those are great tools to use for what we're going to be talking about today. A couple of things that I want to mention. All 3 of those options have a free option, and then of course there's a paid for upgrade or subscription. What we're going to be talking about today, you can do with the free option. However, when we're talking about using large amounts of data or images, that upgraded product may be something that you want to consider. We live inside AI all day long. So if we were to just use that free version, we'd be out of credits by 9 a.m. So we do pay for that upgraded version. Last thing that I want to say is with Copilot, if your organization is living and breathing within Microsoft products, Copilot is a place to give a look. And that's because Copilot works across all of those platforms, whether it be Microsoft Teams, Outlook, Excel, PowerPoint. There's a work version and a web version, and it's a great way to get your team involved in using AI. All right, before we go any further, my clicker isn't working. There we go. Couple of concepts that we want you to embrace before we go into those 5 tactics. So what's most important, Cheryl?
Yeah, so is there anybody in here that's been a little hesitant about this whole AI thing or worried that AI is going to replace your position? If so, I do have good news for you. It does replace tasks, but it doesn't replace leadership, right? The power comes from knowing how to point it in the right direction, and the more purposeful you are, the more powerful it becomes. According to Hotels Magazine, 75% of hotels that implemented AI-driven revenue strategies saw an increase in RevPAR. That's pretty substantial. But the hotels that are doing that are guiding it with context, with strategy, with leadership. And if you find that you're struggling to get results through AI, rethink your goals, right? AI gives you the best insight to the ideas and thoughts and all the data that's out there. You could actually ask AI to create a sales plan that Chris Nassetta would be proud of, or create a budget in the way that Bill Gates would, or solve a cultural challenge through the lens and the experience of Mother Teresa. It literally has all of that insight and that data living in it. You just have to give it direction. You are the brains, AI is the assistant. So a couple of ways to get started is to Pick any of these tools that April already shared and give it some context, right? Tell it who you are. Give it your role, give it your challenges, your goals. So, April, if you were going to provide some context to your AI tool, what would you tell it?
Well, the first thing I would tell my assistant is what my role is. So I'm the VP of Bold Moves. Well, that's going to need a little more context as well, right? What does that mean? Well, it's basically business development. So I want to go ahead and grow our customer base. I want to infiltrate, find new customers, but I really want to lean into innovation and technology. I'm going to train my assistant to know that's my role and also what my preferences are.
Yeah, so after you've given it all that information, ask it to interview you. Tell it, give me 10 questions that's going to help you help me. So that way, every time you log in to work on a project or give it a challenge or whatever it is that you're working on, it's going to know that information when you tell it to commit it to memory. That way, every time it's taking that and then it's going to give you the answer in the format that you prefer. Another way to really get good information out of it is to assign it a persona. This means asking it to act as a strategist or a coach or an analyst, or my personal favorite, the best VP in the whole wide world. That will help it think about it through that lens. Everybody sitting in this room probably knows that when you're clear about your goals and your expectations and what you're looking for, you get better results from your team, right? From your staff, from your on-property people. That's true with AI too.
So one of the most important things in making AI work for you is getting very comfortable with prompting. So you've probably heard the word prompt a million times. It's in every single AI session you've attended. It's in every webinar and every podcast. But what exactly is prompting? So I want to take it back a couple of years. When you had a question, what did you do? You went to Google, you typed in your question, and you got an answer, right? Prompting's similar to that, but it's different. It's better. It's like Cheryl said, once you give that context and you provide a prompt with more information, tell it your goal, give it that background, the better your results will be. So prompting, let's take this just a step further. When I'm trying to embrace something new, it's always easier for me to think about it from my personal life. So professional lens aside, I want you to think of one challenge you have in your personal life. Something that comes up every single day that you have to do. Maybe you don't enjoy doing it. Maybe you lose sleep over it. You all have that one challenge, that one thing. Okay, I'm going to put Cheryl on the spot. What's your challenge?
Every day?
Every day.
What's for dinner?
What's for dinner? Does anybody else have that challenge? The what's for dinner? Okay. So if that was going to be my prompt, if I simply opened up ChatGPT and said, what's for dinner? I'm going to get an answer, right? But how valuable would that answer be to me? It's going to be subpar, most likely. But let's give it some context. Okay, Cheryl, who are you cooking dinner for?
It is just me and my husband.
Okay, any dietary restrictions?
We try to stay low carb.
Low carb, okay. Any foods you just simply don't like?
Okay, this is an unpopular opinion and no one come for me, but I do not like pineapple.
No pineapple. Okay. How about time? How much time do you have to make dinner?
Negative time. No time. Zero time.
How skilled are you?
Ooh. Beginner seems generous. I can make a really good grilled cheese.
Okay. So instead of saying, what's for dinner, if I say, what's for dinner? I'm making dinner for my husband. We're trying to stay low carb. It cannot contain pineapple. I have less than 30 minutes to make it. And my skill set of cooking is similar to that of a raccoon. Okay, I'm going to get a much better answer. Okay, now I'm going to level that up even more because what's really cool about AI is what I can do, and I do this on a daily basis, is I'll take a photo of my refrigerator. Then I'll go over and snap a photo of my pantry. I'm going to put in that prompt, but I'm also going to add that picture. And now I'm going to get ideas for dinner based on what I have on hand, what my requirements are, my skill set. Is this starting to make sense? How you can make your prompting better by giving it context. Okay, so consider this. In this room, I am certain everyone wants to increase revenue. But your challenge in increasing revenue may be very different than the person sitting next to you. So consider how you could use prompting, how you could be more clear to get that challenge addressed. All right, so many of us are in sales or work with salespeople. Cheryl, we're in the business of sales. So what are some of the sales responsibilities that we do every day that AI can help with?
Okay, so let's consider the tasks that we're all doing every day to generate revenue, right? First, we're finding the business. We're doing market research, we're uncovering demand generators, we're analyzing star reports, we're looking at competitor reviews, and we're growing the business, right? We're converting OTAs to direct bookings, we're infiltrating and saturating, we're working with our brand's national account managers to shift share, to get solicited into RFP programs. Then we're optimizing the business. We're analyzing that data, we're making sure that all of our accounts are performing to their fullest potential. And like, damn, aren't y'all tired? Because that's what we're doing every day. We're doing all of that. The data is not the problem. It's the time we have to sit down, analyze it, understand what it means, and then create some sort of action plan. The leading hotels are the ones that are asking this question. How can I use AI to analyze data and uncover opportunities, right? So you've got access to all this information, your star report, your guest list, your competitor reviews, and AI can take those and turn them into insights in an action plan in seconds. And AI doesn't get distracted, right? AI doesn't have somebody walking into their office saying, hey, do you have 5 minutes? And then that turns into 30 minutes. And then you go to the next thing and you forgot you were even analyzing something in the first place, right? So let's talk about that. Let's talk about the star report, for example. How can we take that star report, turn it into actionable insights? April?
Okay, so I love this. We promised you 5 easy prompts, and we're going to start with data. So the star report specifically. AI doesn't have to be complex to make a revenue impact. Many of the biggest breakthroughs that we have throughout the day are using tools that we access on a weekly basis. Star is one of those. So historically, we've looked at the star report to see what happened, right? And if you're a GM in the room, you're analyzing the star report. Maybe your director of sales is looking at it. And if you're lucky, one additional person. But that's all you're doing is analyzing, organizing, and summarizing data. But what if you wanted to take action? You wanted to move the needle when it came to revenue. That's what AI allows you to do. And here's the prompt. So if I'm the salesperson, I'm uploading that star summary and I'm saying, what segments should I target this week and what actions should I take? Now AI is telling you, where should you spend your time for the next 2 hours to actually make an impact on your revenue? And this is for your salespeople. If you're the general manager, consider a holistic view of your entire team. What if you could take that star report and say, break this down into an action plan for every single department at the hotel that's going to allow us to all be aligned, all be working to that same goal of increasing weekday business, let's say. That's how you're moving the needle, is the action that you're taking. It's helping speed up your strategy. The next 4 areas that we're going to talk about are diving into this, but these are just some ways that you can take that large amounts of data and create action. It could be regarding segments you haven't considered before. Maybe you're looking at underperforming accounts, maximizing what you do have, or our favorite, shifting share.
Okay, so one of our regionals actually discovered this, and we've been able to scale it across all of the hotels that we support, and it's been really insightful. We've actually been able to find times where there is midweek compression. Okay, great. What does that mean? So we take it the next step further and we say, okay, who's here? Who can we target? Who's moved into the market? Who can we contact? What contacts can we reach out to? And in certain cases, we have been able to see measurable revenue growth within just 2 weeks from doing that. Okay, so take this concept and think bigger, right? Because this data is sitting in a PDF and we want to do more with it. You can take this same concept, looking at any of your data, and scale it across your portfolio, right? That is how your entire organization becomes aligned and there's momentum and now you're driving revenue and you're all moving forward in the same direction. Okay, so that's star report. April, what about new market demand?
Okay, this is every salesperson's favorite thing to do, and that's prospect. Because prospecting in today's market is super easy, right? Okay, well, here's where AI comes in as the lifesaver. Now, geo-sniping is next level.
Hold on. Geo, what?
Yeah, has anyone ever heard of geo-sniping? Okay,
Someone raised their hand.
Yay, one person in the room has used geo-sniping. This is going to be your favorite tip of the day, I promise you. And AI doesn't have to be technical. In this case, geo-sniping is actually finding demand in your backyard that you can actually see through your windshield. Okay, what do I mean by this? Well, geo-sniping is taking dirt and turning it into dollars, dirt into a revenue plan. Okay, you guys think I'm crazy, but we've all been there. You're driving through your city and you see some new construction, right? Maybe it's a new strip mall. Maybe it's an office building that you've driven by 10 times, but you just don't know what's inside the building. Or it is literally a pile of dirt. There's fencing around it, but there's zero signage. Might be a bank, might be a hospital. We have no idea, right? We just know there's construction. Here's where geo-sniping is cool because it connects the dots. All you need to do is upload a photo of that dirt pile or an address and now ask a really great prompt. So here's that address. I want to know, what is this project? Who's the general contractor? Who are the subs? Who are the vendors? And tell me more if you can. I want to know about the timeline. I want to know when I could actually see some occupancy shift at my hotel. Why does this matter? Because this allows your salespeople to do what they do best. It gets them on the phone with that customer, closing that contract, signing the LNR before your competitors do. And guess what? You didn't have to cold call any job trailers, didn't have to deliver any donuts. You're booking business.
Okay, hold on. I still want the donuts, though. Can we still make that happen? Okay. So this has been a really interesting concept for us, and we do this in a lot of our markets where we are taking those project-heavy markets and we are uploading the construction address, or like April said, the pile of dirt, and we're able to uncover the GC, the subs, everybody that's working on that, call them and solidify that business. For example, we actually had a hotel that was able to secure over 60 crew room nights just by doing this. That's the power of AI, right? It's allowing you to find those opportunities before the market even know they exist. And yes, you can literally start with a picture of a pile of dirt. Okay, so take this concept and scale it, right? Like April said, this is proactive, not reactive, okay? This is better leads for your sales team. This is GM spotting opportunities first. This is redefining business development across your entire organization. Anybody can take a picture of a pile of dirt, okay? But it's beyond that. It's that proactive piece of allowing AI to find leads for you. Okay, so that's new business in the market. April, talk to us about what our competitors have.
Okay, I love this because this is all about free intel. And for me, when I am on the prowl for anything and I'm shopping, whether it's shoes or a car or a hotel room, I care about what like-minded individuals are saying. Does the website matter? Certainly. Do the photos matter? Absolutely. But I want to know what the competitors are saying or people are saying about a product. Now, we've known this for years, and we put a lot of pressure on responding to reviews, and we've gotten pretty great at that. But that's free intel. If you could go through and take a look at all of your competitors' reviews and start to uncover what's really going on, what are they great at? Where are they failing, and what gaps do they have where we could capitalize on? That allows me to develop a really excellent pitch to go after a new account and shift that share by talking about what's most important to them. AI allows us to take all of that data, analyze it better and faster than any human could. So I'm telling you, this prompt, you literally just type in your competitor's name and say, go and review 90 days of their reviews. I want to find out what are the reoccurring patterns, what are they really great at, and what are some missteps that they might have taken, because I want to capitalize on that. And tell me how to do that.
Yeah, we've seen this. We do this in our markets, primarily highly saturated markets, which I'm sure we're all familiar with here. And we've seen really great insights and results. I'll give you an example. There was a time we were looking at our competitors' hotels and we noticed a pattern. AI noticed the pattern. We did something about it. But AI noticed that our competing hotel kept getting the same frustrated reviews over and over and over again around Wi-Fi. Can't get connected, so slow, I'm pissed off. You know the guests that come to you and they're like, why can't I get connected? I'm here for business. We noticed that kept happening over and over again. So we used that to position ourselves as the smarter choice, not by bashing the competitor, not by saying we heard their Wi-Fi sucks, but by saying we have reliable Wi-Fi. And we've been able to land new LNR accounts by doing that. not guessing, but we're positioning ourselves as the active listener, and we're able to get new business that way. Okay, so this sort of insight creates advantage for everybody across an organization, right? Like April said, we are mining free intel. Consider what that means for everyone sitting in this room. For GMs, that means you have data that you can walk into owner conversations with, showcasing that you understand what's happening in your market. For salespeople, that's better leads, faster leads, stronger leads, and smarter conversations when you're talking to potential pieces of business. For emerging leaders, this is a way to show that you're creative. You can find insight. You can get up to speed quickly. For management companies, this is scaling across your entire portfolio, right? One hotel's intel is intel for everyone. Even procurement wins. Do we have any procurement in here? Yeah. Well, anyways, they can spot vendor issues before they become brand-wide problems. So we love that. Okay, so that is competitor reviews. What about our guests?
Okay, direct bookings. Every single one of us in the room wants to be able to convert more OTAs to direct bookings. The second we can do that, that's money in our pocket. The problem is personalization takes time, right? We know that when we're targeting guests, everyone has different needs, and it's time consuming. For us and with AI, we're able to create brand style marketing for many different segments tailored to that guest in seconds. What's also really cool about AI, if we take it back to one of the main things we said about teaching AI more about ourselves, giving it that context, you can do that about your property and your brand as well. So if you're feeding into your assistant everything about your hotel, everything you know about the traveler, everything about that segment that you're trying to target, now AI is starting to speak your voice, in your tone, in your brand voice, and allowing personalization at scale, but very quickly. So here's the prompt. Super simple. Create 3 variations of a loyalty email for whatever types of travelers that you're looking for to promote direct booking perks. Creating personalized marketing at scale and fast.
Yeah.
So what does that look like, Cheryl?
When we've done that, we've seen that we're getting marketing and communication that is working for different segments, right? So for the business traveler, it is all about that convenience, or now the fast Wi-Fi, right? For our weekend families, it's all about the pool and what amenities we have to offer to them. For our leisure guests, it's what's going on in the market. How can you explore our town? Why stay with us, right? So it's these 3 different messages, and then it continues through the entire guest journey beyond booking. Personalization has always been important, as everybody knows, but it's always been super slow and manual and hard because it requires you to be creative and it requires you to have time that you don't have. So AI changes that for you. Now you can do this in minutes, not months.
All right, we are on to our last AI tip prompt of the day. And this is regarding LNRs and spotting blind spots. Okay, we're all in Q4. We're at the point of renegotiating our top accounts. And here's where AI can become very helpful, because when we focus on our accounts, we have this thing called gut instinct. We have a relationship with our accounts, and sometimes that might blur our strategy. What's great about AI is acting on facts and proof. So if you're using AI, here's the prompt. Upload that rate code report and ask AI, what questions should I be asking to uncover underperforming accounts? And here's the gold, what actions should I take? When you do that, here's what AI helps you do. It helps you identify any accounts that might be underperforming. It's going to compare every single locally negotiated average daily rate against your best available rate. It's going to flag anything that might be out of line. It helps you check to make sure your blackout dates and strategy are in line. And this is my favorite. It recommends next steps. So this is the proof for you. If you think you might benefit from raising a rate or changing a rate from a static rate to dynamic pricing, AI is going to arm you with that data or backup proof to help you have those conversations. I would take that prompt a step further, tell it a little bit about your customer and say, write my new LNR contract to this particular client. put it in the language that they want to hear, and add some bullet points that really tell them why this benefits them. That helps me be very strategic, have better conversations, and increase my revenue.
Yeah, we've done this a lot and it has saved us a few times. There have been instances where we have found that our negotiated rate is out of line with bar, or we do have blackout dates that are misaligned with market demand. And we've been able to renegotiate those, get them in line, have AI help us with that messaging, that customer renegotiation. And at some hotels, we have seen an increase in RevPAR by almost 10%. It's been crazy. L&R optimization, though, is not just a salesperson win. Again, this is for your entire organization. This is owners being able to protect profit. This is you being able to keep your share. This is money in the pockets for everybody, which is what we're all trying to do here, is just generate revenue for our hotels. So this really is, AI is changing the way we're generating revenue.
All right, so we talked about 5 things today that you can start immediately. You can literally pull up your cell phone right now and start taking action on these. Let's recap quickly. Star reports, you can use AI not only to analyze the data, but more importantly, develop an action plan, not just for you, but for everyone at the hotel. That's gonna help you increase your revenue faster. Geo-sniping, you can go back and tell your entire team about this. It's all about that embedded location tracking. Put that in to help you drive that business development. It's going to tell you everything you need to know from general contractor all the way down to some occupancy trends, giving you that qualified lead list for business in your backyard. All right, then we're on to competitor reviews. It's free market intel. Leverage that data. Find out where your competition is slipping and use that to help you book that new L&R account and shift share into your hotel. Direct bookings, this is all about converting those loyalty bookers and shifting from OTAs to direct bookers through personalization at scale. We don't have time to do that alone, but with AI, we do. L&R optimization, this is where we're protecting margin and we're winning share, and it's based on proof, it's based on data, and it's really helping you with those renegotiation strategies so that you're armed with all of that intel when you walk in to your customer's office to have a very intellectual conversation. What's the next steps? So obviously, we want you to develop your own little AI assistant. We want you to start working with your prompts and make them a little bit better. But at the end of the day, simply start. If before you joined us today, you were hesitant with AI, you maybe weren't using ChatGPT or Copilot, try it. Pick one of the prompts, start having a conversation, and stick with it. We've seen success with it, and we want you to see success too. We love AI. We love innovation. We love technology. We love it so much. We built our own internal platform that's built on AI, and it's helping our salespeople find leads faster with a click of a button. If you're interested in stuff like that and you want to tech innovation nerd out with us, we are here, and we would love to continue that conversation. What we love most is helping our hotelier partners. So Cheryl, anything else?
Yeah, and some of you in the room obviously have worked with us, so you've seen the fruits of the labor. I don't know that you knew we were doing this, so there's a little bit of our secret sauce there. But if you're unclear on any of this, you want to talk through it, you want to brainstorm on other ideas on how to generate revenue for your hotel, we are here, we're around, we'd love to talk. This is our cell phone number, so feel free to text, call. Of course, you can email, and please connect with us on LinkedIn. We're here.
Enjoy the rest of the show.
Thanks, everybody.